probably could have been freed from all of that darkness a lot sooner, but there was a piece of me that held on to that depression, that held on to the anxiety, to the panic attacks, because something in my mind, and it was the enemy, but there was a piece of me in my mind thinking, wait, if I'm freed of depression, of anxiety, then what is my life gonna look like? What am I gonna look like? Hey guys, what's up? It's Morgan from the Paul and Morgan Show. Welcome to the Paul and Morgan channel. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We make Christian advice videos on life, love, and dating to help you have hope and be free. I feel like I just said that all really fast. Alright, you guys, this is going to be a little bit of a heavier video. If you guys don't know, I filmed a video a few months ago just talking about the fact that I was in the process of getting off of antidepressants. So you can go watch that video after you watch this, or you can go watch it now and then come back to this one. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to give you all an update and share a little bit of my journey. Also, I posted something on my Instagram. Go follow me if you don't. But I posted something on Suicide Prevention Day. I just shared a little bit about my experience struggling with depression and suicide, and I had some people ask me if I would make an update video, and so here I am making an update video. Also, I'm wearing our new merch, which, by the way, when I got this shirt, I realized that the because it says slay like David and then it's got a slingshot, get it? But I realized the is really light, so I went in and I brightened up the so when you purchase it, it will be a little bit brighter and people will be able to see what it actually says. Alright, you guys, it's time to get a little more serious. I'm gonna calm it down and we're gonna just really dive into this now. So first off, I want to start this entire video with me saying these few things. To anyone out there struggling with depression, struggling with suicidal thoughts, struggling with any type of mental disorder, if you have not sought help, please seek help, okay? Please seek help. You do not have to do this alone. There are psychiatrists, there are counselors, therapists, there are family members and friends who want to come alongside you and pour out their strength, their wisdom, their understanding of things to you while you are so weak and feeling so low and helpless. They want to come in and they want to help you. So do not for a second let the lie that the enemy is pouring out in this world and pouring into your heart, into your mind, that you are alone, that you have no one, that no one understands. Do not let that lie soak into your heart any longer, okay? You're not alone. It is okay to seek help. It is okay to get on antidepressants if that's what you feel like you need to do, okay? So this is my story. That's it. I'm telling my story. I'm sharing what I have gone through personally. I am not saying it has to look the exact same for every single person out there in the universe, okay? So please do not misunderstand me. Seek help if you need help. Now, let's get to it. I was on antidepressants for about 6.5 years. I struggled with depression, anxiety, severe panic attacks, did I say depression? And suicidal thoughts. From the age of, really, I'd say it started kicking in around 17, but it progressed as I got older. And when I was almost 19 and then 19, 20 is when it was really at its absolute worst, where I was taken to the hospital for panic attacks, where I was put on extra medication to help with panic attacks, on top of the sertraline or Zoloft that I was on, where I was literally throwing up for days and days and hours and hours and hours. Just it was just a hot mess, okay? So it was a very dark time for me. It was a very heavy time for me, and it was lonely, even though I was not lonely. Like, I had people in my life, but anyone who struggles with depression knows what I mean when I say it was lonely. I got into this mindset that depression, anxiety, panic attacks, suicidal thoughts, they were going to be my normal. For the rest of my life, I was going to deal with these things. Like, it was just going to be my cross to bear, and the Lord was going to give me strength to carry those things. I believed the lie from the enemy that there was no freedom from depression. And yes, I am confidently telling you that if you, for a second, feel like depression, anxiety, panic attacks, all of these mental disorder things are things that you have to bear for the rest of your life, that is a lie. That is a straight out lie from the enemy. He does not want you to live in Christ's freedom. He does not want you to have hope that you could be set free of this stuff. You guys, I am not anyone special. I am a nobody, poo-head, young woman. Like, there's nothing special about me other than the fact that I'm a child of God. That's the only reason I'm special, is because God chose me as his daughter, just like he's chosen you as his daughter, as his son. And so because of that, we have the capability to break chains off of our lives and never live with them again. I was chained down by depression, by anxiety, by panic attacks, by suicidal thoughts. They all ran my life. They told me what I was doing each day. They told me how I was feeling. They controlled my life. That is not the freedom that Christ calls us into as God's sons and daughters. Okay, so I am very confidently saying mental disorders in general are not something you have to live with for the rest of your life. And if you believe that, that's okay. I've been there. I believed it for years. I believed it until God swept in and he punched me in the face with his truth. So maybe this video can be a punch in the face to the lies that have been circling around your head, that have been soaking into your heart. Maybe I can just like punch those out of you. Maybe not though. Maybe this video is just gonna plant a seed in your heart and hopefully kill off some of those roots that have been planted in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit for so long, and just start sprouting truth in you. That's what I'm praying for. Yeah, come on, Lord, do it. So after about 6.5 years of seeing a psychiatrist, of going to therapy, of being on medication, I came to a point where I was just over it. Nothing was working. I would have moments in my life where I was happy and joyful and like truly just enjoying life, and then literally in a matter of minutes I could just spiral and fall into deep depression, into deep darkness and loneliness, and it was just terrible. And so I one day came to the decision I could not deal with this pain, with this roller coaster, just with this darkness that no human really is meant to carry. And so I made the decision that I was going to end my life. The night that I had decided I was going to end my life, that night after I had made that decision and I was like ready to do it, a very small still voice just came and told me, just tell someone. And it seems so simple and it seems so little, and it's like, but I have told people. People know that I'm suicidal. My mom, my family, Paul, like everyone knows, like the people that are close to me, they know that I'm suicidal. And I just like, I fought with that little voice, and the little voice just said again, just tell someone. So I was like, fine, I'll tell someone again. But this time I'm not holding back. I'm going to make it clear that like literally I'm going to end my life tonight if things don't change. And so I went into our bedroom and I told Paul, I just said, Paul, I can't deal with life anymore. I'm going to end my life if something doesn't change now. And he was like, well, then we better change something now. And I've talked about this before in my other testimony video of overcoming depression and whatnot, and so you guys can go watch that. So I'm not gonna like continue to go into detail of the things that happened, but anyways, from that night for another year and a half I stayed on my antidepressants. My psychiatrist put me on 150 milligrams. I was on that for about 6 months, and then she allowed me to go back to 100 milligrams. And then I was on 100 milligrams for about a year. Okay, so I came to a year and I just really felt this peace in my life and just felt like the Lord was saying, it's time. It's time to get off of your medication. And so I was like, okay, like I feel confident enough in myself now. I feel like I have really honed in on how to use my power, my authority as a daughter of Christ. And so, yeah, let's do this. So I talked to Paul, I talked to my psychiatrist, and she was like, yeah, I agree. Like, it's time for you to get off of this medication. She had been seeing my growth and my healing and just how truly, like, you guys, truly, I overcame depression and anxiety and panic attacks and suicidal thoughts. I overcame them. And not even me, like Jesus in me overcame them, okay? And when I say that I overcame depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, all of that, does that mean that the enemy does not try to tempt me to walk back into that? No. It is a battle. It is warfare, okay? I could easily lay down the power and authority that Christ has given me and pick up the depression, the darkness, the heaviness, all of that from Satan again. Here is where you guys might want to punch me in the face if you don't already. Okay, so Lord, just help me get this across. My struggle with depression and anxiety and suicide and panic attacks lasted a really long time. And I came to a point where people were speaking truth and life into me. I probably could have been freed from all of that darkness a lot sooner. But there was a piece of me that held on to that depression, that held on to the anxiety, to the panic attacks, because something in my mind, and it was the enemy, but there was a piece of me in my mind thinking, wait, if I'm freed of depression, of anxiety, of all of this stuff, if I am totally free of it, then what is my life gonna look like? What am I gonna look like? Are people gonna check up on me anymore? Are people gonna care about how I'm doing anymore if they know that I'm freed of it? Like, it was such a twisted, messed up way of thinking. And I'm here to challenge you guys in a loving, God-honoring way to really, really ask yourself, are you holding on? Is any part of you holding on to this depression, holding on to these panic attacks that you've struggled with? Is any part of you holding on to them? Whether it's for my reason of, like, I was just scared, like, people aren't going to care about me anymore because they're going to, like, be like, oh, finally, she's okay. Like, I don't have to care about her anymore. I don't have to check up on her. I had struggled with fear of abandonment, and I thought that my depression was the reason people were staying around. What? That is so the enemy. So I don't know if that's a reason why, but I do know that there are a lot of people out there who have finally been freed of the mental disorders in their life that they struggled with for so long. And they would say, yeah, a piece of me held on to it because I was scared if I let go of it, who would I be? Because for so long, it was my identity, not daughter of Christ, not powerful, authoritative. That was not my identity. And I didn't know what that identity looked like. And I was scared of that identity because the enemy is terrified of that identity. And so I was terrified of that identity because the enemy was working in me overtime. And I would bet to say that the enemy is working in you overtime. Guys, don't let this video, don't let these words that I'm saying that are not even my own words. Like, this is the Lord. This is the Lord's heart. And I'm not saying that I'm God. Like, no. I, again, am this measly human being, okay? But God chooses to work through people like that, okay? And he's choosing to work through me right now to speak truth and life and love and freedom into you. So do not let this video just go over your head. Let it resonate. Let it sit with you. Let it move you to take the step that you need to take to start your way down the path into freedom. There is no reason you should be living with such heaviness, with such bondage on you. No reason. None. That is not what God has called us into. That is not what freedom in Jesus Christ looks like. Why did Jesus come to this earth? To be bruised and broken, to be yelled at, to be tormented, and then nailed to a cross for us to live in chains? Was that why he came? No. He took all of the darkness upon him so that we, as God's children, could live freely, so that we could live lightly. Oh my goodness. The night that depression and anxiety and all of my crap was lifted off of me, I kid you not, I feel like I started standing up straighter. And I felt like I legit lost 50 pounds. Like, I felt like a new woman. Because that is what the enemy is doing. He is trying to crush you down. As much as he can, he is trying to. We cannot let him. We've got to dress ourselves in the armor of God, and we've got to fight back. Because you better believe he is fighting hard in your life right now. He is fighting to steal, kill, and destroy. And far too many people who did not need to lose, lost. Far too many people have believed the lie that they're alone and the only choice left is death. That is not okay. Very recently, I saw that a pastor, a well-known pastor who had a wife and 2 kids, who ran an organization that helped people with depression, with anxiety, with panic attacks, with suicide, with all of that stuff, decided that death was the only option left. We have to stand up and say no to the enemy and his lies. We have to do it for the people who have already chosen death and are gone. And we have to do it for the people who are thinking about doing that. You have to say no to the enemy in your life. You've got to push through those walls that the enemy has put up in your mind, the lies that he has built up in you. And you have to crush them down. It might look as simple as literally just going to your parents and being like, I need help. Just like I was honest with Paul, you have to be honest with them. Be real. It's okay if it's uncomfortable. It's okay if it's heavy. What is much more uncomfortable and much heavier is you ending your life. So please, please know that there are people out here that want to help you, that want to lift you up, that want to get you the right help that you need. So whatever step you need to take, whether it's telling someone, whether it's just saying a prayer, whether it's checking yourself in, whatever you need to do, do it. But let me make one thing clear. There are doctors out there that are going to be very helpful, Christian or not. But I had many doctors tell me that I was going to just have to live with depression for the rest of my life. That I was just going to have to learn how to cope with it, learn how to deal with it. And that's a lie that the enemy is whispering through them. They don't know it. Maybe they do. I doubt that they know it. So get help. Get on antidepressants if that's what you really feel like the Lord is leading you to do. He led me to do that, and he led me to get off of them. All in his timing, okay? Do what you need to do. But know that you don't have to live with depression for the rest of your life. You don't have to cope with it. You can be completely set free of it. Of anything you're struggling with, there is freedom in Christ. I am so sorry for anyone who is watching this video and has felt like darkness is just a part of your life for the rest of your life. It's not true. It's not true. I love you so much. The love that Christ has for you guys is unimaginable, undescribable. Is that even a word? And it's so much more than you could ever think or imagine. So get in the Bible, read the word, okay? That is one of the ways I was set free, was by reading the word, because the Bible is alive, it is real, and it is true, and it is freeing. And don't be afraid to take the first step into freedom. I'm going to leave some links below, such as the suicide prevention hotline. Also a link to a counseling website that is actually specifically Christian based, and some Bible verses that are very freeing. You guys are amazing, and you are called to live in the hope and freedom of Christ and live as a son and daughter of God. And that is the most important identity that we could be walking in. So if you're not walking in it now, have hope and trust that the Lord is going to help you take steps into walking fully in that identity. Comment below and let me know what you thought of this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you appreciated me talking about my past and just my experience with depression, anxiety, etc., etc. You all are amazing. Paul and I will see you again very soon. Have hope and be free. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Morgan, and Paul's not here. It's so much harder to film when you're alone. Whew, okay.